Good afternoon. My name is Mr. Wynne Croy. How fine to see such a good turnout for our freedom meeting, to hear Miss Ellen Mitchell's miraculous story. As many of you have heard and read, Miss Mitchell was held in bondage by a Mr. George Ayler, a Fredericksburg slave dealer. She embarked on a fundraising tour so that she might be able to buy not only her freedom, but that of her family. May I introduce Miss Ellen Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Croy. I appreciate the introduction, but it is time for me to tell my story. I thank you all for coming here this afternoon, and as Mr. Croy said, you have no doubt read about me in the papers. People have been speaking and writing for and about me, but this afternoon, I am speaking for myself. I'm talking especially to you women, as men have been the cause of most of the trouble in my journey. Let's get some facts out of the way. My name is Ellen Mitchell, and I am a slave. Once owned by Master Horace Lacey, Master Horace sold me to Master George Ayler of Fredericksburg, a profane man and a dealer in human beings, slave trader. More about that later. My father was white. The father of my 5 children was white, but he has gone to California. All this whiteness did not cut the shackles from either me or my children. I am still regarded under the law as a slave, a Negro, a black woman, some say a mulatto, and a woman with no rights. My journey to freedom begins a few years ago.
Ellen? Ellen?
Here, sir.
I'm sure you and the others have heard. I have purchased the plantation and you people with it. I'm your new master.
Miss Hannah Coulter freed us. It was in her will. She said when she died, we could choose to go to Liberia or any free state or country or to any of her relatives we might choose.
The court has said differently.
How? She told me so herself. She meant us to go free.
My wife and her relations didn't take that so well and brought suit to break the will.
It's written. It's what she wanted.
The Virginia Supreme Appeals Court says different.
I was going to Ohio.
You are property, my property, and certainly in no position to make a decision on a place of residence.
What is going to happen to us?
Well, I have purchased most of Miss Hannah's slaves, including yourself, your children, and your mother.
So we will remain here?
No, you'll be moving with the others to my plantation, Boscobel, in Louisiana.
South? You're moving us south?
Yes.
I won't go.
Helen, you have no choice. You and your family belong to me. I own you all.
Sir, I most certainly do have a choice. And if you try and move us south, I will raise such a howl as to be heard all the way to Philadelphia and beyond. I know things.
We shall see.
He did see. Master Lacey didn't want to take the chance on me raising Cain, so he agreed to sell me and my children to Master George Ayler, the slave dealer here in Fredericksburg. At least I wasn't going south, but I had to think of something. Master Ayler, I have a proposition.
Now, this is different. A slave making a proposition.
I want to buy my freedom, and that of my family.
And I might want to be king of Persia, but that is as unlikely as you raising enough money to buy your freedom, let alone that of your whole family.
I am serious. I will raise it anywhere I can. I will go north, south, east, or west, but I will raise that money.
And I'm just supposed to let you loose and expect that you will return?
I give you my word.
How quaint. But your word doesn't pay my bills. I tell you what, Ellen. I'll let you go. 3 months. And to make sure that you come back, the children will stay here in Fredericksburg.
You drive a hard bargain, Master Ayler. But I must take Horace with me. He is too young to be left alone.
Against my better judgment. But I'll agree.
And what is the cost?
For you and the children? $1,000.
$1,000? That's as much as a house in Fredericksburg.
$1,000. And you have 3 months to raise it.
Determined to shed my family's enslavement for good, I set off. I traveled to Washington and was able to raise $200. Then on to the city of freedom, Philadelphia. There, the churches and abolitionists spread the word, and I met with some of the best friends that have ever lived. In 3 days, I had raised the money. I went to New York City, and on March 22nd, the New York Times newspaper published a story about a white woman and her children held in slavery. I was determined to use every part of my history to advantage. In New York City, I raised an additional $800. Horace and I made our way back to Fredericksburg.
Ellen, you back early. Fredericksburg News has been keeping us up to date on your quest.
There, Master Ayler, there is your $1,000, your blood money. Now I want my deed of manumission, and it better be as tightly written as the Bible itself.
It will be. I am nothing if not a man of my word. Ellen, you have done the impossible.
April 2nd, 1859 was my family's Freedom Day. The day Master Ayler signed the deed of manumission for all of us. I still remember the phrase that we were entirely liberated and entitled to the immunities of free persons. Free persons. Take a moment and think on that. Do you cherish your freedom as much as I do mine? How much has it cost you? There was still one more thing to be taken care of.
Ellen, you have caught me in the midst of making plans for Louisiana.
I hear that you are sending many to that hell on earth.
I assume you are here to bargain for your mother?
If bargaining is to be done, then I am here for it.
So, what is your mother worth to you?
I would ask you, sir, what is your mother worth to you?
Take your mother and go. She's useless to me.
For that, I thank you.
Tell me, did you raise any money from Virginians?
That I did, sir. Mrs. Gibson, Miss Hannah's niece, sent me $20, the largest sum I raised in Virginia. I will never forget her kindness.
I've always known her to be a good Christian woman.
One of many whom I've met on this journey. And that is my story. I moved my family to Ohio, Cincinnati, with $7,000 to the good. I took in laundry and was able to support myself and my family. My mother, Amelie Keating, went with us. All my children, John, Josephine, Horace, and Virginia, finished their growing as free people. People say I did something out of the ordinary. I don't so much know about that. Maybe you just haven't heard the stories of the others. Thank you for listening. I appreciate your support of my cause. Mr. Croy, they are yours.
Thank you all for attending today and making Miss Mitchell's plea a success. As you return to your home or plantation, think on what you would do to secure your freedom. How much is it worth to you? For Ellen, it was everything. So carry her story of freedom back with you to your own home and community. And be thankful that you are not sleeping in shackles this night. I take my leave. Good day.